Once your son or daughter graduate from high school, they will probably leave the church. So we see that 70% of students that grew up in the church will walk away from the church post-high school. And it's this epidemic that we know about, and a lot of churches get stuck in doing traditional youth ministry, but they wonder why things don't change in that result. And so I'm explaining the what behind Sunday morning with our big change, but I've done a very bad job of explaining the why and the research behind this change. So Barna Research Group, Youth Fuller Seminary, they have the information that's out of really why these students will walk away from the church. And why are we doing these changes at Highpoint is because we want to make sure to recognize what's going on in our culture. So here they are, the top 5 reasons why students will walk away from the church. Reason number 1 is because students did not have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I hear it so often like, oh, I'm a Christian because my parents are Christians or I was born into a Christian home. And if they don't have this ownership, then it never was their own. And so they're not walking in the Holy Spirit. They're not understanding what this is. They're relying on mom and dad. So that is one big reason why they will walk away from the church. Reason number 2 is because students were not having intergenerational worship. So they've been off on an island in teen world, worshiping with their own peers, but not having the intergenerational connection with different ages in the church. So not getting that pull to worship in a different way, or just more of a mature outlook on worship in general, is another reason why they walk away from the church. Reason number 3 is because students do not have relationships with adults outside of their youth pastor or their home group leaders. So if they just rely on me or their home group leaders, and that's all, those are the only adults they know. So they walk into church and they're like, wait, who are all these people? And so a healthy church is a church that has different generations pouring into the teens from different angles. I am a Christ follower, and I am in ministry today because of the older guys in our welcome team that will come up to me, give me that handshake and connect with me and get to know me. So having relationships with adults outside of just the youth leader and small group leaders is a very crucial thing to keep them in the church. Reason number 4 is because they were not volunteering in church. So just showing up as a spectator, just sitting, trying to be spoon-fed by somebody, and they were not involved. We have amazing ministries in our church on Sunday morning. I could list them all up, but great things going on where students, if they are more involved and hands-on, still getting teaching, but being active and having some ownership in the ministries, they're much more likely to make church a lifestyle. Reason number 5 is because they saw Christianity as anti-science. I would hear this from students so often, like, oh, I'm not really into Christianity. I'm more of a science person. And I always cringe when I hear that. So for some reason, the propaganda through the public school system that we evolved from goo, that came from somewhere we don't know, and here we are today, these sophisticated humans that can make iPhones. Well, it doesn't make any sense, and they don't want it to be true on the atheistic side because that means that there's accountability. And so most people are on a happiness quest more than a truth quest. And so we try to implement the apologetics, is what I call it, defending Christianity, into our curriculum now on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights to give some truth to our students, to realize that Christianity and science are not at odds. They complement each other. You can't separate them. But a lot of students that think this, they will walk away from the church. All right, so there you are. So parents and students, if you have any questions about anything High Points, please email me with those questions. I love to answer some of these questions on a video. If you're thinking it, somebody else is probably thinking it too. So be brave and contact me, and hopefully I can unwrap and help you guys on your spiritual journey.